Okay, story time. I have for a long time been annoyed with the way that we track damage in Marvel Crisis Protocol. We place these cardboard tokens on the cards that mark how much damage has been placed on the character, which is a fine way to do it, and it is a reasonable way to get that into a box. But I personally find it hard to read from across the table, and even for somebody like me who has most of the stats in the game memorized, for that to be useful, I kind of have to have the stats memorized. And it's like, okay, there's 4 damage tokens on that character. Is that character a 5 health character or a 6 health character? Uh, what are we doing? And then when you look at someone like Hulk who has 20 and it's just like a pile of tokens on him, I don't like it's not super parsable across the table, and you have to ask your opponent. You have to spend mental energy working on that. And I've been looking for a better way to do it. And I've seen a lot of people have these dice caddies. I think the problem with dice is that dice get knocked, and then they've tried to solve this with caddies, but they're still like tiny numbers all the way across the table. So the solution that I came up with was I have these little whiteboards that I've been using. And so this is a 3D print that has been beat up, and you can tell how beat up it is. And it has a bit of whiteboard tape, which is a thing I didn't know it existed a couple of years ago. But essentially, it's just a piece of tape that lets you write on a whiteboard. And these have been beat to hell, and the reason they were playing with whiteboard tape was so that I could replace the whiteboard tape, which I have on this one. I've been looking for a solution to replace this because I'm not 100% happy with it. They are still kind of small, and I've been using it for them for a couple of years. And so I was looking at trying to just put an actual whiteboard in a laser cutter and see if I could like draw a design on a real whiteboard so that it wouldn't get as damaged as these kind of get beat up. But I've decided to go a different way. I have this crazy idea of a 7 segment display. We have these 7 segment displays in Ultimate Frisbee for scorekeeping. I'll see if I can find an image and put it up next to my head. You just you flip the segments. It's completely analog. It's held together with there's a piece of elastic holding a piece of plastic to the board, and you flip it back and forth, and it's a different color on each side. So it's like an analog version of a digital clock. Instead of the light being on or off, the side of the plastic is either like black or white. And so I have been thinking about trying to make this as a 3D print and use it for Marvel Crisis Protocol. And the other thing I want it to be huge. And the reason that I want it to be huge is I would like to record games in like the standard streamer view and have these numbers be visible to the person watching so that everybody can know the exact like lay of the board at any given time. And that will also help us manipulate it. And I've talked to a bunch of people. We had some initial ideas. We had an early prototype which was, well, let's say not the best thing. This is obviously, like, I haven't changed the colors on this, but, like, that was the plan, was to switch this. And it's just, like, it's too big and it's too bulky for, like, what it does. So I consulted the same person that built my whiteboards for me, Jacob Frelinger. You may know Jacob Frelinger as the owner of Pineapple Probabilities, who makes all the custom dice for Second Wind, made our giant streamer dice you've seen at either our LVO stream or on our Second Wind videos. And I presented this puzzle to him, and it was right up his alley. And he came up with this excellent prototype for me, right, of here. So this is not the one that he printed, but this is the file. And then I had my buddy Carl of Carl Con fame do it. Let's see if I can put it over here. And so it's essentially held in with plastic rubber bands, and I've painted each side to flip back and forth so that you can make the different numbers. Let's see if I can figure it out. Oh gosh, so difficult to do this in a mirrored format. I mean, I'm a cool guy. All right. All right, so that's the plan. And there's like a little bit of a learning curve to these, as they like are not the fastest thing to operate, but I've gotten pretty quick with them. And so now the problem with putting this thing together is that it's like a million pieces and you have to paint it. Well, thankfully, we ordered some colored filament, and I have got a million different things to put together. And so we're going to do that now, and I'm going to show you how all this stuff goes together and works. All right, so I've bought a bunch of rubber bands in order to connect these through and give it a little bit of elasticity, and they're going to go through these pegs and loop around these built-in pillars that we've done. I've built this little hook to do it with. So you just kind of put your bad boy through here and put your guy on there, and then you pull it through. And we're all set, right? And then you just kind of do the same thing over here. Let's see if I can do this on camera. There, and then flip this bad boy over, and they both connect to this guy here, and that's the plan. And you flip them over. We've bumped into a little bit of a problem though, is you see you get this twisting here, and it causes the thing to not always sit flush every single time. And so ways to go about fixing this is we can make the holes bigger, which I still am not 100% convinced we could do while still keeping like the form factor about the same, because I do not think we can make them any bigger than this. So the solution I've come to is we're going to cut the rubber bands. And hopefully by cutting the rubber bands, it means that this thread's way easier. You don't need the little hook anymore. But tying them on the back is an absolute pain in the butt, especially trying to get them tight. And this largely works, but we still get a little bit of this like not always perfect kind of flip here. So the solution I found for this, or that Frelinger actually found for this, is you loop them around the thing, and now they're held much tighter, and they reset every single time, and they're not twisting anymore. So we've got that working now. So now I just have to assemble all of them and go from there. Okay, so I've tied all of these together on the back and wrapped them around, and now they work pretty well and they sit pretty flat. And they're even, like when you're seeing them across the table, it's still pretty easy to tell that they're black and not red because they sit all the way down in the recesses. All right, and then Frelinger made these back plates, and the back plates, or let's see if I can get it on here, are pressure fit. And the reason we did it this way is because you don't want to glue anything down. Of course, I have a little straggler here. You don't want to glue anything down because these are going to snap, like rubber bands are not forever. And we want to be able to get at it. So that pressure fits right on there. And of course, I'm having some issues. You see, the issue is it has to kind of all sit flush. And this was like a way better plan when they were loops. There we go. We got a little bit of gap here. I don't know why that's going on, but it looks good. And so that's the idea. All right, so now we've got them together and they're working pretty well. And I recorded a game that you can see here. Unfortunately, we lost some of the footage, but this is the idea, is that they're going to be these big just text boxes that are analog that we can show kind of as like a replacement for like a TTS overlay in gameplay going forward. For streaming events, we will not be using these because I think it's like another thing for the players to get in their way, even though I think they are shockingly easy to use. And as somebody who's played like a bunch of games with them now, I think they don't get in the way as much as you kind of think that they would given their size. But it's not a thing I want to put in the way of a competitive event. Because being on stream is already stressful enough, and then you have to learn new power counters and power trackers. So I wouldn't do that. But for videos that we commentate that are kind of exhibition games, I think this can like greatly improve the viewing experience. A couple things left with this project. Grunts are kind of an issue at the moment, where how do I track a grunts? So I had Frelinger mock up a 50% one that has only one set of health, and that's being sent to the printer. And then I also have, how are we going? Oh, and also among those we have like hulks, things that have more than 10 hit points that aren't easily replicatable. So I've got this like double green one, and I have a double red one that will just be used for a hulk, and a hulk will have two. I can't think of really a better way to do it than this. If you've got an idea, put it in the comments. If not, maybe I'll have a better idea by the end of this video. We'll see. I'm recording this over weeks and weeks. But yeah, so that's where we're at there. So the fun with those kind of problems solved, our last thing that we're looking at is I need a storage solution. Because right now, this is my storage solution.
What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
It doesn't even hold all of them. The rest are just kind of loose in my bag. So what are we going to do for that is kind of the current question. So we have a carrying solution. It slots right into my KR foam and holds 12 of these things, one on each side. Boom. And with that, I think that completes the project. I'm really happy and really excited about it. I think they just like turned out so cool. And you can see a little 3D rotation right here. Let me know what you guys think. Would you be interested in trying out using these? All right, a couple quick housekeeping things before we call it a wrap on the video. I have a Patreon, which I don't talk about a lot because I don't want to be constantly like, hey, give me money. But anything you give there does help me get new equipment, help the channel. We recently bought a whole bunch of streaming equipment because we are streaming Squad Goals May 3rd and 4th. I believe tickets are still available if you want to go. It's a 3-man team tournament. You can see this fun ad right here. If you're not going, though, we are going to be streaming it right here on this YouTube channel, and you'll be able to tune in and watch me, Pat, Nate, and Alex all commentate different games from that live, and it's going to be a really, really good time. And then finally, as you saw, tickets go on sale for Second Wind the Tuesday after Squad Goals. If you want to go to Second Wind, you essentially have to buy those tickets that day. We sold out in an in at 56 minutes or something last year, something absurd. So be on top of it. Go to the website, find out how it works, and don't forget that fun is a finite resource.